Drivers, start your engines.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Darlington International Raceway for round number 12 of the multi-lead Stone River Cup Series, Stone River Outfitter Cup Series here at Darlington for a throwback weekend. My name is Scott Patton. I'm up here in New England from New Hampshire, joined in the booth by Ken Huber out in Montana. How's it going out there, Ken? Snow, wow. Certainly is. We got a special weekend this week. We're a throwback weekend. See if I can get our logos up there. We're a throwback weekend at Darlington International Raceway. So we got a lot of throwback paints throwing back to the old days of NASCAR. We got a variety. We were searching through the paints earlier on tonight in the pre-race show before the broadcast, Ken and myself. So it should be really interesting. We had a ton of paints here to talk about throughout the race. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of action tonight, and looking forward to this one. I think 113 laps. Is that right tonight, Ken? Yeah, certainly choose through tires. This track, I think, is on the top of my list in terms of how the driver can affect the outcome of their success tonight, or failure for that matter. Plenty of sets of tires, 5 sets. And let's take it down to Ken Huber in a session that we call Hot Laps with Huber. He's going to talk to us about getting around the truck too tough to tame.
All right, thanks, Scott. Here we are at the Lady in Black. We're going to take the Multi-League Racing Network Chevy Camaro in a throwback scheme done by Scott. It's patented paints. Let's get in the car, take a fast couple laps around Darlington, and hopefully we can do it without getting our very own Darlington stripe on the car here. And we'll jump in the cockpit here as we enter the turn. Getting ready to exit turn 4 and up on the front straightaway. Easy on the gas here, and away we go. Looking for that start-finish line. Getting ready to enter turn 1. We're off the gas, just clipping the apron. We're going to let the car drift all the way up along the wall here, and as soon as it sticks, feet in the throttle and start setting up a low exit off turn 2 here. Back on the backstretch here. Looking for a braking point, hard on the brakes. Aim the car towards the middle of the track. Now we'll bring it down to the bottom for the exit of turn 4. Again, being very gentle with that gas, and we get back up on the front stretch here. If you get a run, the car in front of you, it's advisable that you end that battle before we enter turn 1 here. The driver on the outside will normally surrender the position before entering the turn, avoiding a very narrow track racing conditions. There is about a couple laps around the track, or in the Lady in Black as we like to call it. Now that we got that out of the way, how about a little trivia for everyone in the chat? So Scott did a great job at Patent Paints doing this throwback scheme for us here in the booth. And the question for the people in the chat is, who is the driver that raced this car and what years did he race it? And throw your answers up there in chat and we'll give you a shout out. Anyway, Scott, I'll throw it back to you as we get ready for tonight's race. Good luck, everyone. Try to keep it off that wall, stay safe and clean, and really looking forward to this one.
All right, there we have it. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ken Huber. A couple laps around Darlington International Raceway. A little less than 2 minutes ago in the qualifying session here. No surprise here. Justin Michael at the top of the board, 29.394. Jeffrey Merck, also from Bandit Motorsports, and a 29.5.
Yeah, blistering lap times there, Scott. We got mostly cloudy conditions and a cool track temperature for qualifying at 98 degrees. Is that track temperature really allowing these guys to crank out some super fast laps?
Yeah, I wonder if it'll stay like that. Looks like partly cloudy sky, so in the afternoon setting here, the clouds will be in and out throughout the afternoon. Should affect the handling of those cars. And what do you think? What do you think, Ken, is one of the most tricky parts about getting around this 1.3 mile track?
I think it's the narrowness of the track and keeping it off the wall, right? And being able to control that car throughout the whole tire run, because the car does change throughout each lap as these tires get worn down, and being able to control your emotions and the narrowness of the track and getting by lap traffic, kind of all the big keys of this place. And it truly is a driver's track.
Yeah, I think emotions, like I said, is the key word that I took out of that conversation there, Ken. I think emotions can get the best of some of these drivers, and this is one of those tracks. Even though it's not a short track, it's not a Martinsville or Richmond or Bristol, but I think emotions can certainly get the best of the drivers, certainly like they did the other night when we saw the Cup race on Sunday afternoon with William Byron and Joe Logano with a bump to pass there and on the very last lap. So probably looking like we might see one of those tonight, hopefully. And how many fans we got watching so far? Can you see, Ken?
So it looks like we got about half a dozen there. Greg Mall called out the driver of the car that you painted with patented paints there, that 22 car of Ward Burton. He didn't give me the years that he was racing it, though, so he's only half correct so far. But Greg
Halfway
Mall
there.
is called. Yeah, he got Ward Burton, and I guess I should talk more slow.
Yeah,
so
Ward Burton, the MBNA 22 car.
I always used to laugh. That guy used to talk so slow. Anyway, we're just ended qualifying there, Scott, so maybe we should bring out our starting grid.
Yeah, let's look at our starting grid tonight. Let's see here. Justin Michael on the pole, 29.394 from Martinsburg, West Virginia. Jeffrey Mark on the outside, the front row in the 60 car. Vernon Margheim starting second from Greenwood, Indiana. Wesley Holland in the 41 car. Chris Howell, 2. Christopher Howell there on 29.7 from Moyoke, North Carolina. Charlie Widner, Kyle Chadwick, Eric Talent, Greg Mall, who guessed our Ward Burton trivia there, and Jeff Gilmore running out our top 10.
Brad Ream will start on the inside in 11th. Richardson in 12th. Michael Melfelt Jr. in that 155 car will start 13th. James 00 Brown will start in 14th. Rod Mitten in the number 15th position. Brian Bazell in that rainbow car. I remember seeing that. His throwback was old Jeff Gordon, early days of Jeff Gordon. Jack Watts in 17th. Robert Mattis in 18th. Christopher Davis in 19th. And J.J. Garrett in 20th.
21st tonight, Jason Hughes with 30.4 from Topeka, Kansas. Calvin Miller on his outside with 31.2. Now we get to the cars who have not taken a qualifying time tonight. Starting at 23rd, Heath Smith in the 02 car. Well, I'm there. in the 46 car. Billy Bumgarner starting 25th. 26th, Gene Daly. Mike Erder from Dallas, Texas in 27th. Ron Quincell in 28th. Trent Drum 29. And James Hearn rounding out the top 30.
And David Schreck will start in 31st position. Josh R. Scott in 32nd. John Stepanich in 33rd. Kerry Cleaver in 34th. Gene Daly in 35th. And Mike Erder in the 117 car rounds out your field tonight.
There you have it. Front row looking sharp tonight. You can see, I think we're going to be put to the test tonight here, Ken, with these paint jobs. We got a lot to keep up on. I've tried to do a little research beforehand to figure out where these guys are, and I've painted a couple of the cars with patented paints. But a lot of them I'm seeing for the first time tonight in terms of multi-league Cup Series racing. So I'm looking already at the 7 car there, starting in 3rd place. Who's this one back here? 33. Is that Vernon?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
He's
Vernon Margheim.
Yeah, he had a problem with trading paint, so his car number on the side isn't quite correct tonight, I believe. So.
Yep, so there's one of them there on the outside of him. Wesley Holland in the 41 looks like a throwback Bush Light paint scheme there.
Yes, there's some really great looking cars, but I got to give you credit, Scott. That the 22 car you did for the TV car, as I like to call it, was an awesome job on that. We had our own throwback scheme. It was very awesome.
That we did. Maybe we should. Do you think we can put that in the vote tonight? We're going to do a vote tonight, folks. So if you see a favorite paint scheme that you like, we're going to scan through the field throughout the race. We got a long way to go tonight. So throw your vote in the chat if you see a favorite car that you like. But don't forget about our Ward Burton 22 MBNA MLRN car there. So through turn 3 and 4, Justin Michael looks like the pace car is out. And Justin Michael gets a great jump on the outside here. Green flag is out. We're racing Darlington Throwback Weekend multi-league style. Here we go.
Yeah, it was a great jump off there by Justin Michael there, allowing Jeffrey Merck to get in behind, allow all these guys to basically get single file. And that's kind of an important step to get in these first couple of laps is get these cars single file going into turn one, and everybody really behaved themselves and did just that. Right now we got a battle here. It looks like the 88 car, Kyle Chadwick, back here in about 7th place. Oh, gets high up on Eric Talon, it looks like. Got a guy down on the apron. We're staying green there. That was a close one there. Got that Darlington stripe. Not even a lap into this race.
Yeah, it's true. We're looking at Brad Ream right now in the 61 National Guard. I think that's a Greg Biffle throwback scheme. Looking sharp there. Great run for Brad Ream in the top 10 here so far. Right just in front of him. And 9th position.
Yeah, we got a caution on that
and
field.
Caution
there,
is out. Let's take a look at what happened here. Stand by.
Looks like the 58 car of Jason Hughes is in the back here. I'm just trying to figure out where this occurred.
Yeah, I've got it here. The 29 car Robert Mattis. It looks like it's going to be in turn 3 here. JJ Garrett just gets in the left rear, turns Robert Mattis around. Christopher Davis there in the 38 coming up high, trying to avoid damage. The 20 car Calvin Miller. James Hearns avoids damage on the inside there in the throwback car. Oh, and the 6 car. Who's in the 6 car tonight?
Oh, the 6 car. I was half paying attention there, Scott. That'd
John
be
Stepanich.
John Stepanich.
Yeah.
Yep.
So tough break there. Under caution here with just a couple laps under the board.
So no pit takers yet, although I didn't imagine we would. Right now, the current track conditions, I didn't check it after qualifying, but we're under mostly cloudy skies. 79 degrees outside tonight with the track temperature of 99 degrees. So pretty much the same that we had during qualifying. I think that incident there, Scott, showed that that those narrow racing conditions definitely play a factor here. It looks like guys trying to check up, JJ Garrett getting into the back of somebody. Just there was nowhere to go. The track is barely 2 car widths wide in most places when you're going through these turns. So very tricky situation, and you got to drive with a tremendous amount of heads up all the time here.
Yeah, certainly I was looking at our leader, Jeffrey Merck up front in the 60s Stone River Outfitters. We did a unique paint job on this car. It's Stone River Outfitters, but it's painted like the old Mark Martin car back in the day. It's Bush car.
So we got Wesley Holland in the chat voting for his own car there in that Bush car, that 41 car in 3rd place. I gotta admit, I do like the color combo on that car. I just don't know that it's a throwback, Wes. Is that a throwback?
I'm wondering which driver here. Let's go back to, let's take a look at Wesley Holland, a little closer look here. There it is, Bush Light. I don't know. I like it if it is. We got the contingency sponsors on the side.
Yeah, he's throwing Jimmy Johns under the bus tonight to run that car. So that's a good-looking car. And also, there's Emily Hearns in chat. I wonder who she might be voting for tonight. You have any idea there, Scott?
Emily, what was the last name again, Ken?
Emily Hearns.
Emily Hearns. I don't know. I might have to do some research.
Yeah, I don't know who that is exactly. Maybe up there in the Great White North somewhere. Speaking of the devil, I think that's James Hearns. Why don't we go back to James Hearns in that 78 car? What's he driving tonight? He's in the royal purple again, but it doesn't have the yellow stripes.
Does not have the yellow stripes, but it is still purple, as we know. James Hearns liked the drive here. Let's go in for a closer look.
I just got called out by
Royal Car 78.
I just got called out by Wesley Holland. It turns out that was his father.
Oh, that's
that was
awesome.
Voting for the car. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
awesome.
That was his father in the chat voting for his car.
Yeah, that was voting for the 41 car. Yeah.
Touche. So this Crown Royal car of James Hearns back here, I believe, was a throwback to the Jamie McMurray. I thought it was Matt Kenseth, honestly, when I was making this car, but I think it's a Jamie McMurray car from early 2000s. But it looks like lights are on the car, lap 6 on the board, and we are 1 lap to green here.
So these guys got a good start last time, keeping it single file. Kind of what you want to do, kind of let everybody get sorted out, and then you can start racing, going into turn 1. I already see a couple damaged cars. The 88 getting into the wall. It looked like he was making a pass on the 5 car Alec Talent. They both got some damage now, so Already starting to see those Darlington stripes show up. We've got 6 laps on the board. We're getting ready to turn them loose again there, Scott.
That we are. We'll do an onboard maybe of, I don't know, who we want to do on board. Maybe, let's go Wesley Holland, right? Since his dad's in the chat.
Yeah.
We'll go
Yeah,
on
let's
board
do
with his
Wesley.
son. Here we are, inside second row with on board with Wesley Holland for this restart. I believe Jeff Merck is the control car on the outside as we come around turn 4. Furniture row right in front of him and Justin Michael, and green flag is out. Here we go.
Yeah, Jeffrey Merck got a great start on the outside, just like Justin Michael did that first start there. Able to pull it, stretch his legs out a little bit there. Merck was super fast during practice, but Wesley Holland laid down, or not Wesley Holland, but Justin Michael laid a heck of a lap down during qualifying.
You know, my instinct, Ken, like we were talking about the other week, my instinct is to say that this is an oval track, and we know how Jeffrey Merck does on ovals, right? But he kind of put us to shame the other, was it last week he took the victory at Dover?
Yes, he did. As I was getting ready to say during the last caution, Wesley Holland, bringing it back to him really quick, he won last year's event here in the Cup race. So I know he's going to be a strong contender at the end of this thing, too, as long as he keeps it clean out there. So Justin Michael and Jeffrey Merck, and I'm hearing that there's a wreck on the track right now, but we're still green at the moment.
Yeah.
Nice thing about Darlington, there's a big apron down below, so if the cars skid down to the apron, they'll usually allow the cars to stay green.
Here we are on board the Stone River Outfitters number 60 of Jeffrey Merck out front. Clean track out front, no traffic. Let's go out the back and see what's out there here.
Got a mirror full of Justin Michael is what's got. Well, not quite a mirror full, but
Yeah, a few car links back. Him and Wesley Holland there. 1, 2, 3. No surprise there. Charlie Winder. Let's get some hats off to Charlie Winder in top 5 here.
yeah, definitely. Charles is having a good day. I'm looking here at the 56 car. It's way off the pace here, Scott, and the leaders are coming up. Must be down on the apron. Just trying to figure out who that was there.
Rod Quincell, I believe, on the inside there. Looks like I think he got some damage from that first wreck, I assume. Unless he was the car that was involved in a wreck that did not bring out the caution. I think that may have been the case. But coming down to pit road now, Ron Quincell is going to have a tough go at this race tonight.
So I've been corrected by Wesley Holland's father again. And he basically said that was a Bobby Allison throwback. I guess I did not know that.
Bobby Allison, Busch Light, huh? I always thought of Bobby Allison as Coca-Cola. Do you remember the Coca-Cola, like, red and gold days?
I don't know why I got Miller on my brain with Bobby Allison. I don't know why.
Oh, that too, yes. Bobby Allison, yes. The red and white.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Alyssa Kendall in the chat. She's rooting on JJ Garrett in that Caterpillar car, and I believe he was involved in an earlier incident, so he is probably back in the field a little bit.
Yeah, and I think he actually just got sideways off of turn 2. We're going down the Boeing backstretch. A little off pace there, but JJ has got it gathered back up. Caterpillar car back under pace here.
And then somebody the bandit team is Hey Scott and Ken. The captain is in the house.
Captain, that's Chris Boyles, if you got me, buddy. Chris lives in the North Carolina area around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm going down in a couple weeks to the Coca-Cola 600, and I've already made arrangements to meet up with him. So kind of a cool little get-together, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Those guys that we race with every week, and it's kind of cool when we take trips and get to meet up with people. So looking forward to that, Chris.
Scott, I moved back down to the 12th position. I just watched Rod Mitten make a pass on the 00 car. He's in 11th now, actually, of James 00 Brown on the outside there. James probably lifted a little bit for him, but that 92 is starting to make headway on the field here. And I know he
looking
likes
to the inside right now and takes a peek. Not going to do it this time, but just behind him looks like Jack Watson at Budweiser, a familiar paint scheme that we know all too well there. I like that Darrell Waltrip scheme. Who's out there? Who's out front there in the Darrell Waltrip car?
Is that the Tide car? Which Darrell Waltrip scheme are we speaking
Now,
of?
just in front of Rod Mitten is Christopher Howell 2. And Darrell Waltrip, Western Auto Parts. Yeah. Got some damage on the right front there. I think Rod Mitten's going to take some advantage of looking to the inside again. Can't quite get it done on the entry.
This is one of those tracks that if you don't set up the driver in front properly, you're just kind of stuck because it's so difficult to pass. The corners are so narrow, you got to get that fender under him before you get in the corner. Then hopefully that guy's going to let you go. It would be the prudent thing to do anyway. As he makes another run on the outside, try to get a run off the corner here.
That would be.
Looks like he might get the run here. Got the door to him. And it looks like the 70 car is going to let him go now. And that's kind of what you have to do.
Almost like a slide job, but it's kind of the accepted thing to do here at Darlington because the track is so narrow in these corners, huh?
Yeah, and most of the smart drivers are going to, they realize that, hey, I'm going to lose this position. Let's not fight it in the corner here because this maybe ruin both our nights.
Yeah, I'm
so
going back
just
up front here with Wesley Holland. Looks like he's maybe closing the gap a little bit on Justin Michael.
Yeah, I went back there just as you did, Scott. I wanted to see if Wesley Holland was making progress up there.
I think this is kind of a good view for our viewers out there that are watching. This track is the one, I think you would admit, kind of, but it's got two completely different ends to this track, and they drive completely different. So if your car handles well in turn 1 and 2, chances are it's not going to do so well in 3 and 4, as we watch Justin Michael float up there and scrape the wall, and Wesley Holland follows him right up there.
Yeah, very, very tricky track, I don't know, I still love this place. I like the fact that the corners are both so different, right? Because you actually stay more engaged with a track like this, too. You don't kind of fall asleep. You got to be on your toes all the time.
Looks like these top 3 here. Wesley Holland's 1.5 seconds off the lead of Jeffrey Mark. They've opened up about a 3-second gap over Vernon Margheim, who's back there in 4th. So it looks like the top 3 kind of pulling away from the rest of the field here. Is Vernon Margheim in 4th, and Greg Mall back here in the Hooters car, what would normally be the Hooters car. Let's talk about this car a little bit. So Greg Mall does the Miller Fortune car. Basically what we did with Patented Paints is we took Miller Fortune, put it in the font of Hooters, drew on the side of the grill, on the side of the race car, and that's what we got. So awesome tribute to the old Alan Kowicki.
Sweet looking paint job there, Scott.
I was talking to Greg Mall a little bit before the race, and he said if he was fortunate enough to get the victory lane, you can guaranteed to get a Polish victory lap out of him tonight.
Well, then we all wish you the best there, Greg. Just behind Greg, we got Charles Whitner. He's under pressure right now with the 57 car of Greg Gilmore, and got that old Dale Earnhardt. Kind of, I guess it's the Dale Earnhardt tribute scheme, but with the, I'm trying to read the sponsor there on that 57 car.
Looks like Under Armour.
Yeah, I wanted to say that was the old Wrangler color scheme. And then just with Charles Widener in the 95 car has got his throwback scheme under there.
Yeah, it looks like Craftsman, but I'm not sure. I think it's a Casey. I think I saw this on Facebook done as well. So this is a Casey Kane throwback as well. Just like Rod Mitten is also another Casey Kane throwback that we saw earlier tonight.
Just going back here to Rod Mitten, see if he's made any progress. Got by that 70 car. Just looking here, he's got a 2-wide battle just ahead of him. Oh, I guess that's Eric Talent passing on the lap car. Just moving my way back through the field here, checking out some of these schemes. JJ Garrett in the 79 car, in that Caterpillar car. Not technically a throwback scheme, but he does have somebody in the chat rooting for him. So back there in 13th after an early race incident, holding his own. Oh, he gets that Darlington stripe up there. So
let's talk about for the viewers out there. Ken, can you describe exactly what a Darlington stripe is for the viewers?
So a Darlington stripe is, I don't know, maybe you could describe it better than I could, but my thing is just brushing the wall and leaving the paint on your car on the side of the wall. That's a Darlington stripe.
Yeah, leave a little paint on the car on the wall and the paint of the wall on the car. So these cars are done tonight, and guarantee you there's probably not going to be very many cars that have a clean right side of these next gen cup cars. So
and
that is the traditional Darlington stripe.
If the wall starts turning yellow, I guess we can blame JJ Garrett in that Caterpillar car. Just behind him, the 155 is all over the back door of James 00 Brown back there, fighting for 14th position. Kind of backed off there. Thought Michael Melfeld Jr. was going to make a run, but so far everybody's still staying single file right now.
Yeah,
Trying to
James
pick their
Brown
moves.
in his 00 Sunday Series Retro Cup car that he runs every week. Michael Melfeld Federated car, we've used to seeing that one. Christopher Davis in the Twix. No surprise there, and then we're back to James Hearns in the Crown Royal, Jamie McMurray throwback.
So let's talk about Heath Smith just behind James Hearns there in the 02 car. So I was giving Heath Smith a couple of races ago a very hard time about driving an all-black car and not having a sponsor. Well, look in here, this race, his first race back, and I see a sponsor on that car now.
That is, it's Pullman Moody. I think that's a car parts company, but on the side, the Chris Durham show, which, let's go while we're here, to the other Chris Durham show, also from Covington Motorsports, Brian Bazell, and the Jeff Gordon throwback. Looks like he's already got some damage on the right front, but it's a sharp-looking car there.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, we make progress there. I see you just went to the 18 car there, and there's been some shout-outs in the chat to see that 18 car, that the Jeff Gordon scheme. I was going back down. I was going back to the 02 car there with Greg Mall saying that we got him some results. So currently, Scott, we got 24 cars on the lead lap out of the 35 or so that started. Right now that's Trent Jump, and he just went a lap down to the leaders as Jeffrey Merck and Justin Michael pass him. It looks like Justin Michael's starting to close back in on Jeffrey Merck, so I wonder if Justin had been saving tires and now starting to reel in Jeffrey Merck at this point.
Yeah, I want to give Trent Drum a shout out here while we're on him. In the Tide car, that reminds me of a Ricky Rudd throwback. Not sure, I know several drivers, including Darrell Waltrip, have driven that car in the past.
Yeah, that's
I'm not sure exactly which driver he's going for, but to my mind, it speaks Ricky Rudd, especially with that white back in there. So, really sharp looking car in there, Trent.
And the Bandit team called out, I guess it's your team leader there. He said, "Oh, I think that that 79 car is a throwback to Ward Burtness, except that's he's been throwing that car back for the last year." So I wasn't sure if it's a throwback scheme. I guess he could be.
I was texting earlier with Doug Hevron. I got to give Doug Hevron props, even though he's unfortunately did not make tonight's race, but sometimes he's able to make it. He's an actual racer in the Winston Cup Series back in the 80s, and I did a paint for him with a Bentley Saloon. That's his yellow and orange car. He basically rides his own throwback car every single week. So I told him that if he was going to race tonight, I would give him props for his own throwback car. But unfortunately, we can't see it tonight.
Here, Scott. We got a heck of a battle going on here for with Justin Michael all over the back of Jeffrey Merck, and then at the same time they're coming up on lap traffic. So it's going to be really tough pull for Jeffrey Merck because I think he's getting beat on tires right now, and I just seen Jeffrey Merck just getting the wall a little bit. Justin Michael, nice clean run there, keeping it clean. Watch these guys navigate this lap traffic here. And we gave Brian Bazell that 18 car, that old Jeff Gordon scheme. Trying to stay on the lead lap here, getting by Jason Hughes in that 58 car. Nowhere for Jeffrey and Merck. They're going to go 3-4 wide. Oh my goodness, at Darlington, no way. Jeffrey Merck's down on the apron. Oh, the 18 car gets into the wall. Somehow there wasn't a caution there, Scott.
Wow, and Justin Michael comes away with the lead from that, and Jeffrey Mercker might need another pair of pants here after turn number 2.
Jeffrey Merck did a heck of a job when he got down on the apron and just keeping it down there. That was great heads-up driving there. I'm sure he probably wasn't happy with that move, but you know, the 18 car is trying to stay on the lead lap there and got caught up with another car there. We got a caution out right now.
Caution's out. We're wrecking. We'll take a look at what happened here. Justin Michael with the lead. 34 laps on the board. Sure we're going to see a lot of pit stop action. We'll take a look at what happened on the incident. Looks like Ken Richardson, I believe that's on the inside there, watching live. Watch a replay, see what happened here in just a minute. Yeah, here's Ken Richardson on the outside of Calvin Miller. Gets into the wall by himself. Calvin Miller gets involved. Around they go.
All right. Yeah, that was a tough break for those guys. Some of those nice paint jobs just got jacked up. That Casey Kane car got the worst of it, it looks like. All right, well, they're catching back up to the pace car. Got a bunch of cars on pit lane. 79 cars, 69. I think they were all involved in the incident. Now we're looking at our leader, Justin Michael, headed to pit lane. I imagine most of the lead lap cars are going to follow him down.
It's true. I gotta imagine. Can't imagine anybody staying out on the racetrack right now. We're looking at Brian Bazell, the number 6 car, John Stepanich, Trent Drum. Those are all lap cars. Looking at all the lead lap cars coming down pit road. Lots of excitement down here as we'll see who beats the race off of pit road. Lap number 35 on the board.
Now, Scott, you got some intel on guys what the fuel window was, because we're at 35 laps, and I imagine they're getting pretty close to that fuel window anyway.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I honestly, usually I do have a intel. Some guys give me some information on the fuel window, but I don't have any tonight, so we're gonna see how that plays out. But I gotta imagine that 35, I can't imagine them going more than 45 at 50 at the most, so.
Justin Michael missed his pit box there, had to back it up, so he might lose the lead here. And he has the best pit stall, though. He can be the first one out, but yeah, it looks like the 60 is going to beat him out. That
Jeffrey Merck to the green cone first. Justin Michael second. Wesley Holland third. Vernon Margam out fourth, I believe.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my timing and scoring to catch up. I got to wait for him to cross the line here, Scott. But yeah, that was a costly mistake for Justin Michael. It's so difficult to pass, but you know, Justin Michael seems to have the tire strategy. He beat Jeffrey Merck on tires that last run, so you know, we'll re-rack him, stack him, and he'll get another shot at him. We should maybe bring him up and talk to him. What do you say, Scott?
Who's that, Merck?
Justin Michael.
Justin Michael. Sure, let's do that. Justin Michael, Scott Pan up here in the booth with Ken Huber. Talk to me about following Merck for the first part of this race, first third of the race down. Looks like the right side's got your share of Darlington stripes on it, but how was that 3-wide pass up there with Justin Michael with the lap car in between?
I wasn't the lap car, but I don't remember who the lap cars were, but I thought we were 4 wide there for a minute.
Maybe
but
4.
I had a chance to take him, so I had to do it. So lap cars held their line, so they did their job, and I guess he had to back out. I guess he was on the apron. I don't know. I just sent it.
Nice. How's the fuel run? Do you have any fuel numbers for us for a fuel window tonight?
I think it's in like the mid 40s. I have to check again, but yeah, I believe it's the mid 40s. So I gotta do some math here. I think we'll be good on one more stop.
Nice. Looks good. The old Martin Truex Jr. Furniture Row throwback car in the 087, following the 60 of Stone River car of Jeffrey Mark there. How's the tire wear tonight? Have you seen a huge drop off in lap times with just 30 laps down so far?
Yeah, there's some drop off. I mean, it's Darlington, it's to be expected, but you know, you just got to manage them. I've been overdriving it, making up for the damage that I have, so that's going to hurt me a little bit in the long run, I think. But I still think we have a better long run car than the 60.
All right, sounds good. And good luck out there. Looks like we're 1 to go, racking them up on the inside. Looks like Jeffrey Merck took the outside, and we'll talk to later. Good luck out there, Justin.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, all right. Well, that was a nice chat there with one of our drivers there, second place in the 087 car and the Furniture Row car. So let's top 10. Let's narrow down our top 10. So Jeffrey Merck is going to take the outside to start this thing. Justin Michael on his inside in second. Wesley Holland in third. Vernon Margheim in fourth. Greg Mall in fifth. Rod Minton in sixth. Christopher Howell in seventh. Michael Milfeld Jr. in 8th, James 00 Brown in 9th, and Christopher Davis rounds out your top 10 as we get ready to go green.
There you have it. Pace car in the middle of turn 3 and 4. Jeffrey Mark takes the outside line. Looks like the advantageous line. Vernon Margheim just behind him in here. And waiting waiting substantially longer than he did for the start, and he is off. Green flag is out. Lap number 39 going on the board.
That 7 car working hard to get that position away from the 087 car, Justin Michael. But Greg Mall in that Skull Bandit car. Looks like he's got that position made there on the outside.
I think that's Vernon Margheim in the Skull car.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jeffrey Merck, let's go to the lead here. Jeffrey Merck gets loose off of turn number 2, collects it, and maintains the lead.
So did the 41 car. We got a caution. 41 car got sideways, too, when Jeffrey Merck went down there, and they both went down to the apron. But caution's out again. Not sure what happened here, Scott.
Let's take a look here and just... Looks like Jack Watts all by himself here off of turn number 2, I believe that is. Let's take a look. And there you have it. Jack Watts gets sideways off of turn number 2, all by himself, brings out the caution.
Yeah, that's tough. You get used. You had 35 laps on those tires, Scott. You kind of forget you're on cold tires when you go back out. You get them replaced. You come out, and we've seen a bunch of drivers get loose there in the first couple of turns there. It's kind of one of those things that's easy to do if you're not paying attention. So getting back to Vernon Margheim in the 33 car, on my screen here, and I'm sure it's a trading paints thing because Vernon Margheim did have an issue with the paints. I'm still showing him in the 07 car, or in the 7 car, so that's Greg Mall's cars there.
Yeah, he's in the 7, so and Greg Mall right behind him in the Miller Fortune Hooters theme Alan Kowicki car is also in the number 7, so don't get those confused. Vernon Margheim's in the Skull car, Greg Mall's in the Alan Kowicki car. Speaking of Greg Mall, I do have a vote here through the Patented Paints chat. Let me get this up here. Shelly Mall says, I can't find a way to vote on YouTube, but Greg Mall is her vote. It's almost like, who was it, Emily Hearns voting for, who was she voting for?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think the car was purple, though. I do remember that.
For James Hearns.
I was going to say, so I got a vote here in the chat, too, from Zach Golt saying the 7 car was the best paint, but you know, being that there's 2 7 cars right now in the field with that Skull Bandit and the Miller Fortune car, the Hooters look alike, you'll have to clarify that so we know which car you're talking about.
Yep.
So the choice is Skull Bandit or the Hooters car. And then
what's the
Chris
vote?
Durham says great save by the 60. I would say that, and also the 41 car too. And it looks like Jack Watts wasn't as lucky. I don't know, Scott. When we go green, do you think we'll have a good chance to crank it up?
I think so. I don't see why not. These guys have shown they can throw some laps under green flag racing here. About just over a third of the way through this race. Fresh tires, fresh fuel. Let's do it this time.
Just looking at the 95 and 18 car, it looks like they had some late pit stops there. I have a feeling, I don't know if they're involved in the accident. That'd be Charles Widener and Brian Bazell. Looks like there's there is some damage. I bet it's Charles Widener is probably trying to get that damage fixed from that previous caution. Same thing with Brian Bazell.
Yeah, they're both just trying to get caught up to the field here under yellow on the backstretch. Looks like they both do in time.
So I'm here in drivers chat. They're talking about Canadians. We got a few Canadian drivers out there in the field. We got that 78 car, James Hearns. We got Christopher Davis out there in that Twix car, Canadian. I'm trying to remember. There was the beer store car guy, Rob Haynes.
Rob
is
Haynes,
also a Canadian.
Is he here tonight? Did I miss him?
No, we called him out earlier. I thought. No, I guess, yeah, I don't think he's in tonight. You're right.
I don't see him in the running orders. Yeah. But anyway, here we are, and 1 to go. Lights are out on the pace car. Jeffrey Merck starting on the outside. No surprise there. Vernon Margheim on the inside, and Justin Michael buried a row back or two. And that furniture row 087 on the inside, Toyota Camry. Should be interesting. It's going to be frustrating for him to take the lead like he did from Jeffrey Merck, and now all of a sudden be mired back in traffic on the inside lane, which I'm sure is not the preferred lane for him.
Yeah, and another driver I want to call out is Rod Minton in that 92 car before we do our crank it up. Moved himself up to that 5th position. Done a great job tonight. He was quite a ways back. So started in 15th, it looks like. He's up to 5th.
Yeah, up 9 spots. We'll watch this restart from the onboard of the Spotify throwback Casey Kane car of Rod Minton at 92. Off of turn number 4, Jeffrey Merck puts down the loud pedal. Here we go, racing at Darlington. One more round. All right, like we said we'd do, here's the crank it up coming at you. If you're sensitive to volume, turn your speakers down. Otherwise, we're going to crank it up and give you some high-speed action here at Darlington. Here we go. Looks like that was somewhat short-lived as yellow flag is out. We'll take a look at
again. He's been dropping positions ever since that green flag. But I don't think he was the cause. And I heard NASCAR officials say debris, so I'm not seeing it on the track.
Going, yeah.
Wesley Holland headed to pit lane. Along with a couple other drivers. A couple of these drivers are a lap down, but it looks like out of the lead lap cars, Wes Holland is on pit lane. Along with James Hearns, it looks like, so on the lead lap. And Brian Bazell, who is, looks like he is on the lead lap too. So I'm taking it, our camera people can't find what brought out the caution there, Scott.
Yeah, I tried, and I just want to catch pit stops here. Maybe after the pit stops we can take one more look, see if we can find it. But looks like Jeffrey Merck is low on the apron, maybe faking the pit road with Werner Margin right behind him in 2nd. Greg Mall in 3rd. Looks like none of them are coming to pit road this time.
Yeah, we only have a few laps on the tires. We're almost to the halfway point. As I watched Wes Holland get into his pit, kind of missed his pit box like Justin Michael did. So probably getting some fresh rubber on that thing, and hopefully he can run his way back to the front. So kind of struggling tonight now after last year's race winner. Wonder what the track's doing here, Scott. I'm just going to take a quick look. Oh, the track has cooled off quite a bit. I wonder if that's having an issue. It's almost down. It looks like about 7-8 degrees from where we started. Still 79 degrees outside under mostly cloudy conditions, but the track has lowered to 93 degrees. We're almost at 100 when we started this thing, so it is really cooling down. As I'm watching Wes Holland headed back to pit lane, probably getting some of the right front fender beaten off on that car, getting it straightened out to get some more aero off that, to get that right front to work a little bit better.
Yeah, looks like that is the case. Coming down pit road one more time here. 48 laps on the board of 113, approaching halfway here at Darlington.
So I got another vote in the chat. Dawn Merck, she's voting for a car. I can't imagine what car that is.
Dawn Merck. Let's see what Jeffrey Merck here is doing up in the lead.
And K-Bash is voting for the 7 car too. However, I think he's voting for the race. Again, we got 2 7 cars on the track, so it's either the Skull Bandit or the Hooters look-alike, the Miller Fortune. So, and as a matter of fact, if we go on track right now, those 2 cars are nose to tail. The 2 7 cars out there. So we have a trade-ins paint problem tonight. So normally that Skull Bandit car would be the 33 car. But Trading Paints is not showing the correct number on that car. So 2 7 cars out there right now.
We're on board with Justin Michael and the Martin Truex Throwback Furniture Row car starting 4th here. Looks like he'll be on the outside of Jeffrey Merck, who's going to choose the outside lane. And those 2 number 7 cars, Werner Margine and Greg Mall, starting on the inside lane.
Yeah, and in 4th now is Justin Michael, starting to give up positions ever since we talked to him. Hopefully we didn't jinx him there. And you mentioned that he was in the Martin Truex Jr. throwback car. I think of it as what the Bush, one of the Bush brothers,
Kurt Busch.
Kurt Busch, and I think he drove that car too for a while. Anyway, back in 5th is the 70 car of Christopher Howell, having a decent night tonight for sure. Rod Minton, who I'd mentioned earlier, in that 92 car, that Spotify car, up to 6th out of starting 15th. James 00 Brown, another great run for that multi-league retro cup car there, as we get ready to take him to the green flag here.
Here we go, Jeffrey Merck on the outside, coming off of turn number 3 and 4 here. Good view out the back of the car. Watch from the left rear view here. You can see the win stickers on his A post there. He's got 3 wins on the season. Green flag is out. 1 more lap down. Here we go.
Another great start there as Justin Michael's looking to the inside of that 7 car. That 7 car just could not hold on to the power. What a power move by that 087. Brought the other 7 car of Greg Mall with him. That Skull car is starting to drop back. Rod Minton now closing in on that 7 Skull Bandit car at the moment.
Yeah, I think the Skull car, Werner Margine took a peek on the, wanted to anyway, took a peek on the inside of Greg Mall, but thought better of it as Rod Minton had momentum and didn't want to close that gap on the outside there. I knew he probably had the preferred lane if he let that gap open, so smart thing about Werner Margine there, back in 4th right now.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope Rod Minton isn't racing on a laptop tonight.
Back up front, don't mean to interrupt. Jeffrey Merck, the leader, spinning off at turn number 2. We saw him do it earlier, save the car. Can't quite save it this time. I gotta imagine yellow is out.
No, not yet, because he spun it so far close down to the apron there that NASCAR is not throwing the flags out.
Wow.
Looking back up front here, the 92, taking a peek on that 7 car in 4th for 3rd position there. That 92 is all over the back of that 7 car, trying to get around that guy.
Here's an awesome in-car view from Rod Minton from Sweetesboro, New Jersey. Oh,
that 7 car.
Burnham getting all kinds of sideways.
Yeah, and he loses a position. Yeah, just Werner Margine really struggling with that car at the moment. He's going to lose another position to the 70 right now, and maybe the 155. Michael Melfeld Jr. closing in.
Struggling for sure, and probably increased the heat on those tires, but great job by Werner Margine saving that car off turn number 2 last time. Watch Michael Melfeld Jr. just behind him also tagged the wall for turn number 2.
Yeah, so getting back to our race leader there, Scott. He's got quite a bit of front end damage. He's now in 18th. He's almost the last car in the lead lap at this point. There's only 1 car behind him, and that's Charles Widener. So, wow, tough break for Jeffrey Merck there.
Yeah, and speaking of lead, Greg Mall takes over lead in the Miller Fortune Kelly Yarborough themed car out front, number 7. First time today.
Yeah, and he's already got a win on the season at another tough track there at Martinsville, I believe it was. Basically ran that whole race without pitting and brought it home for victory. And that Hooters, well, I want to call it Hooters, a Miller Fortune car, dressed up like a Hooters car. Looks pretty clean yet tonight, Scott. While the 087 does have has a few of those Darlington stripes on the left-hand side of that car.
Certainly, that is the truth there, and I think Justin Michael knows that. We talked to him during his interview. He knew he had damage on the right side there, the Darlington stripe, and he just let one of his teammates, Greg Mall, probably just have the lead there. So you know what, you can lead for a while. I'll see you in the second half of this race if I get something for you.
And the 3rd place driver, that 92, that Rod Minton Spotify car, closing in slowly on Justin Michael. So having a really good, I know I called him out early in this race, watching him move through the field, but being up to 3rd now and looking at 2nd, great job by Rod Minton.
Certainly, let's talk lap times. That time by Rod Minton with a 29.9, Justin Michael with a 30 flat, a whole 10th. I think the previous lap he was 2/10 faster than Justin Michael. Watch him continue to close in here on Justin Michael out front. I think he's going to be suffering here with that right side damage.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, Scott, where aero is really important here because the car is on edge, and if you don't have the aero helping you out a little bit, just that little bit of difference there really affects how you drive this car.
Absolutely.
Going back here, looking at just behind them, Vernon Margheim kind of is recovered from his slide jobs there, just in the tire tracks of that 70 car of Christopher Howell. Maybe just trying to collect his thoughts. He might be another one of those drivers needing to clean his shorts out tonight.
That's true. We saw Vernon get sideways, but no harm, not too much foul as he saves the damage on the car, and he's back after it here, still in the top 5. Great job by Vernon.
So it's got to move back here to the 9th position of the 41 car of Wesley Holland right now. I'd mentioned that he was last car in the lead lap. He pitted a couple times, gets some of the fender beat out on that thing, get some new tires on it, and starting to march his way back up front here. He was really strong early in this race, and as I mentioned before, last year's winner, so never count this guy out.
He knows how to get around Darlington for sure, as he does most racetracks. When no unfamiliar scene to see Wesley Holland or Colorado Springs out front on most of these things, but started 4th, struggling, like I said, with that damage. A little bit on the right side, and currently running in 9th. Still a solid top 10 finish.
Yep. And just behind him in that 18 car is Ryan Bazell and that Jeff Gordon throwback, the Rainbow Warrior car. But just behind them in 10th is Billy Bumgardner. And he's in a nice throwback scheme. Jeff Burton car, I believe it is. The Exide battery car. And I don't believe we called that out yet tonight. That's a good looking car there, Scott.
I don't think we have. You're right. Let's not forget about the old Jeff Burton scheme by Billy Bumgardner. Throw that in the votes as well. From Charlotte, North Carolina. Started 25th, by the way, up to 10th, up 15 spots. He might be our biggest mover. I'm just scanning through our list here, and he is our biggest mover of the race so far.
Just behind those guys, I'm back here with Jack Watts, who just made a pass on Christopher Davis. He's back there in 11th, just got that spot away from Christopher Davis. Kind of a 5-6 car battle going on back there. He's starting to pull away from Christopher Davis, currently in 12th.
Oh, Jason Hughes, don't mean to interrupt again. If I get the cameras on, Jason Hughes back here just got loose off of turn number 2. Does a great job saving it. I don't think he got any more damage than he currently has, but great save by Jason Hughes there.
They don't call him smoke for nothing.
What were we talking about? Billy, we're talking about Jack Watts, I think, right, at the time?
We're talking about Christopher Davis. He's under all kinds of pressure there with that 0-2 car of Heath Smith. So as Heath Smith is now looking to his inside, is thought better of it, getting ready to go into 3 here. And see if he can make a run off this corner. Most of the passing's been off turns too, so, and he's got a run here, so he is going to get side by side by turn 1. Will Christopher Davis lift? Let's see. It looks like they're going to go into this corner side by side. Give it to the 0-2 car. He's got quite a bit of front end damage on the front of that 0-2 as well.
He does, but a little bit of speed still left in that new sponsor for Heath Smith there.
Then just behind them in 14th, you got James Hearns with just behind his teammate Christopher Davis. Just kind of following along there. Thought he was going to take a look there, just backed off. I think it looks like James is wanting to ride it out a little bit longer, as we are essentially just about halfway into this thing. Another 3-4 laps. Going back up front here.
Hey, I want to talk about David Schreck back here. Currently running 25th. Not one of the top runner finishes that we've seen. David Schreck has proven to do most of this season so far. He's had some great runs, but in that 9 car, I think that's a Ryan Newman Alltel throwback car that we did patented paints for him. So I don't know that we've thrown that one in the mix yet so far, but don't forget to vote for David Schreck if you're a Ryan Newman fan out there.
Yeah, and Chris Durham just said, I was right, the Rainbow Warriors with the 18 car of Brian Bazell. As we watched the 9 car give up a couple there, letting a couple guys by. His lap down, allowing our 16 car of Jeffrey Merck. Hasn't made up too much ground yet. He's back there at 16th, just trying to not go a lap down right now. He's about 10 seconds behind the leaders, maybe 9 seconds behind the leaders based on lap times right now. So He could be looking at Greg Ball here in another 10, 15 laps. But they got a lot of traffic they're going to have to come through as well.
A lot of traffic, but I'm just looking at lap times right now, and Jeffrey Mark just put down a 30.4. Greg Mall, our leader in the Miller Fortune Alan Kwiecki car, just put down a 30.5. So he's at least running pace, if not a tenth or two faster than our leaders.
Yeah, and speaking of leaders, Justin Michael closed back in on Greg Mall. He's looking at the lead. Greg Mall gets a little sideways, allowed Justin Michael to get on the outside, make that pass look easy for Darlington. New leader, Justin Michael, back where he was from the last caution.
Yeah, we talked about Justin Michael. I think I was talking to him in the pre-race show, and he was hoping for a green flag run because he had some, felt like he had the advantage on older tires to save these things for a longer run. So right now, 32 laps on these tires, 68 laps on the board. Probably looking at pit stops, I gotta imagine the next 10 to 15 laps if I were to guess.
Yeah, that's probably about right. So green flag pit stops. I can't believe I'm saying that for Darlington. Actually, that's maybe not that abnormal because guys here know how hard this track is to drive, and kind of everybody really does settle into racing the track and not each other. And so we tend to sometimes have some really good green flag racing here. Looking back here at battle, it looks like Jeff Gilmore in that 57 car. Back there in 6th, got Christopher Howell just behind him. Not sure if a pass was just made because it looks like he's gaining some ground there in that 70 car.
Yeah, Jeff Gilmore with a 31.4 last lap time around, and leaders with 30.4. So full second off the pace, which to me probably yells that he was under pressure there with Christopher Howell. Probably was a passing lap there with his lap time.
Yeah, and Vernon Margheim going back to the 33, or I should say 7 car, that Skull Bandit car. That green car, let me just say that. He's looking at the rear end of that 92 car of Rod Minton, who's having a great night tonight. As they approach the 58 car, who's a lap down of Jason Hughes. And Jason Hughes is going to politely let him by on the outside there. That's a tough thing to do, is driving down on the apron and open sticks as some faster guys go by, Scott, as you can attest.
Yeah, especially this early in the race when you're only about halfway through the race. It's got to be really frustrating to have that much damage. Be off pace, know you're not competitive, but still stick it out there. Try to collect as many bonus points as we can here. As Jimmy Todd would say, right? No fast repairs, get damage, get it out, get as much repairs as you can do. And
is under a huge amount of pressure there with Vernon Margheim, and Vernon Margheim makes a pass there to the inside. It's like Rod Minton didn't want to fight him too hard there. It's just some heads-up racing. As what I was mentioning earlier, they understand how hard this track is.
15 cars. Josh R. Scott is the next one, 24 seconds off the lead in 15 spot. 15 cars on lead lap tonight.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Merck, last time we talked to him, he was running back there in 14th, has lost a full second or two to the leaders. So this thing stays green, he's in big trouble.
Speaking of big trouble, though, Jeffrey Merck's got a bunch of traffic right in front of him. I'm sure he's looking, and looks pretty good to him as there's several positions for him to pick up here if he can keep the pace up. As he looks to the inside, possibly of James Hearns, turn number 1 up here.
Yeah, couldn't quite get it done there. He's got 2 teammates. Jeffrey Merck's going to have to get by those 2 Canadians in front of him. Looks like Christopher Davis making a move on that 77 car. Jack Watts gets to the inside going into turn 1. Didn't quite have the room there, didn't quite have that fender up on him, and had to tuck back in. Yeah, I seen that too there, Scott. I thought James Hearns and Jeffrey Merck were going to have a moment there. A moment of brotherly love.
Trading some paint. Is it a Darlington stripe if you get the paint on your car from another paint vendor too? I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of paint, Jeffrey Merck off to turn number 4 that time. Just about one more coat of paint would have definitely tagged the wall that time.
Yeah, I think he's struggling with that front end damage too, and you know he cooked off the tires when he slid that thing. So tough night for Jeffrey Merck. This is kind of the best battle on the track right now where Jeffrey Merck is at, though. So kind of fun to watch. Wesley Holland, I'm going to go back up to 3rd. I don't know where he came from. We kind of been skipping over him, I'm going to guess. But Wesley Holland up in the position on, and he's probably got the freshest tires because he came in late, remember, Scott? And I believe he's got fresher tires, and he's starting to make those fresher tires pay off.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stints. Yeah, 28 laps right now on his tires. Wesley Holland last time just put down a 30.9. Justin Michael, our leader, but I think that was a passing lap for Wesley Holland around Vernon Margheim, like you mentioned. But we'll see what this time proves here for Wesley Holland. But 28 laps on his tires, where the rest of the top 10 have 40 laps on their tires. So.
And I'm starting to hear drivers call out pit stops. I heard 155 car calling out to his crew to get ready. He's headed to pit lane, and that's Michael Melfelt Jr.
Melfelt. Yeah, let's go on board with Michael as he makes this entry to pit road here. Down to speed. Jason Hughes tries to make the pit road in front of him. Smokes him. Like you said, his nickname is Smoke. He goes back on the racetrack. Could not make pit road that time.
This is a tricky pit road entrance here too, Scott. If you haven't practiced it, you can sometimes get away with coming in on the apron early or coming in really late, but it's very easy to miss, especially with these next-gen cars, because brakes are a little bit different, and you kind of got to brake a little earlier than we did in last year's cars.
I'm going to open up the iRacing radio here so the fans can hear just as we hear.
You're right, then.
They're going to be coming to pit road. You'll see... You heard that? Justin Michael coming to pit road this time.
Yep.
Off of turn number 3.
You see the leader there uses the whole apron rather than bring it off the track. I'm one of those guys that'll bring it straight off the track and into pit lane. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like there's any advantage either way you do it. Just matters if you practiced it or not, I think.
Yeah.
Wesley Holland, new leader, out there in the 41 car, so I know he's going to be a few seconds back when he finally does pit, but that's going to give Wesley Holland the lead, and Wesley Holland will probably be thinking, let me stay out here for a few laps and get that caution when I hit my tire window here.
Yeah, it should be kind of interesting. Maybe we'll do a comparison
60
here.
pitting this time, 60 pitting.
Again, we know that Wesley Holland has at least 12 more laps than these leaders do on his tires, so we'll see where Justin Michael and those leaders,
33
Rod Mitten, those guys, see where they end up after this pit stop compared to Wesley Holland. I assume they're probably going to go a lap down, but it's just a matter of how much, because they're also going to have fresh tires, be ripping pit stops and ripping lap times rather. Probably quite a bit faster than Wesley Holland. So
yeah, I think I heard Vernon Margheim now in second, headed to pit lane, using all the apron there, hard on the brakes there, trying to get it wound up for pit lane. The see, he's locked up the tires there in the apron. He gets it turned down though, as he heads to pit lane there.
Great job by Vernon.
Yeah, that was a little bit sketchy.
Christopher Davis, I think, is on pit road. That Home Depot car in front of him is on pit road. Josh R. Scott in the 32 with the throwback. Tony Stewart, Joey Logano, paint scheme.
Wesley Holland still out front. We got James Hearns now in the third position in that 78 car. Looks like Christopher Davis has made his pit stop. So currently 3 cars are on the lead lap right now, Scott. That's Wesley Holland, Vernon Margheim, and James Hearns. I think Vernon Margheim won't be, though, because
Vernon's on pit road. Yep.
Yeah. So 2 cars on the lead lap currently.
This is where things get really dicey, because now you've got drivers that are on 30-plus lap tires, and you've got drivers coming out on pit road with fresh tires. Like we talked about, tire wear is a huge, huge factor here at Darlington. The lap differential is going to be huge. So you come up on some of those slower cars, and that's where the cautions are going to come out when you have that speed difference.
Now here's where Wesley Holland might be in trouble. I think Wesley Holland's going to need the caution because I believe most of the drivers can make it the rest of the way. So if we stay green, the longer Wesley Holland stays out, the more time he's going to lose. So, you know, it's kind of a calculated risk I think he's taking right now, but you know, he had an 8-second deficit before the pit stops, and so he's doing what he can to win this race. So a little bit of smart driving, a little bit of lady luck, and maybe he can get it done.
Yeah, just throw a comparison out here. Last time we saw Wesley Holland was by the start-finish line. There goes Justin Michael by the start-finish line. 0.6 faster with Greg Mall right on his tail. Those teammates running back-to-back there with fresh tires. Basically pitted within a lap of each other. They're 1 lap down to Wesley Holland. Wesley Holland's about a straightaway ahead of them right now.
18.
And he's got
Wesley
those
Holland
2
coming
cars.
to pit road this time. Here we go.
Must have been listening to us, Scott there. Got the 9 car who's a lap down. That's David Schreck in that Attell Ryan Newman scheme. And the Wesley Holland Bobby Allison throwback scheme. I'm still scratching my head on that one, though. I had to look that one up.
So looking at our leader now, James Hearns. I believe that was Emily's vote out there in the chat. Out front in the Jamie McMurray Crown Royal throwback car.
Yeah, he's got some hungry meat behind him there on fresh tires there. Those fresh Goodyears going by him on the outside there. Oh, I see a car down on the apron. Smoke.
Josh R. Scott, I believe that is.
I think that was Jason Hughes. Maybe it was Josh R. Scott.
Josh R. Scott getting righted, gets headed the right way, and I think we also saw James Hearns coming to pit road, if I'm not mistaken. There he is, James Hearns.
Yep. Yeah, you're right about Josh R. Scott there. Scott, and Scott.
Must be a name thing. I don't know.
Must be. You got a pick for tonight, Scott?
Sure, I'll pick him. I'm going to go with a Miller Fortune Alan Kulwicki 7-car on Greg Mall.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's... well, you know, I guess it's a 1-2 pick. I got to go with Justin Michael here. I kind of like his tire strategy. Seems to be good on the long run. So we got 27 laps to go. That's going to give him some time to save them tires and get back to that 7-car. Although I imagine that 7-car this time is going to be hard to pass.
I think so. I think I'm just looking forward to the Alan Kulwicki victory lap if we can get one out of Greg Mall here. See if we can get it all the way around the racetrack. So let's talk about patented paints a little bit. I did many of these paint schemes, including the 7 of Greg Mall and the Miller Fortune car here. What I'm doing tonight is most of the special events throughout the season. I'm giving away a 8x10 print of the car in Victory Lane, which tonight is what I consider one of the top, certainly one of the top 5 races of the year. So special race tonight, 8x10 print going out to the winner tonight, as well as if the throwback paint vote in the YouTube chat should prove that it's somebody other than the winner, we'll send out an 8x10 print to the throwback paint scheme winner as well in the chat.
Yeah, and while we're in the chat, for those of you that are watching, I called out a bunch of cars that people are voting for. So there's quite
everything you're doing, I'm doing.
Quite an opinion in the chat tonight of who should win too. But the official one for those prints, I believe, is happening on Facebook through the league. So we're having a fun one here on YouTube. So
that is correct. Yes, I'll stand corrected so there's no confusion. Yes. We're having fun here on YouTube, but there'll be a vote on the multi-league Facebook page for the print winner. But either way, 8x10 print going out to the race winner tonight.
And I got Jason Hughes telling me I got Wesley Holland too much on my brain, but I believe I've called out Mr. Smoke quite a bit for all the smoke he's been causing tonight too.
I suppose if you're not running out in front, there's one way to get some TV time, right?
Yeah, every time I see smoke, real smoke, I think of Jason. All right, back up front here, looking at 087 car in second, starting to run down. You got a lap car between him and Greg Mall, that 00 James Brown car, that Retro Cup car. Our Sunday night league administrator in the Retro Cup Series. And we haven't mentioned that too much tonight, Scott. And it looks like I thought he was going to give up the position there, Justin Michael, but not yet. Now, James 00 Brown is just the first car a lap down, so he's probably fighting to stay on the lead lap in case we do get a caution.
Yeah, I apologize to the viewers. Having a little bit of problem with the getting cars on the camera here, but we are still live, and we'll get them to you here in just a second.
Got Justin down here.
And I could tell our folks out there what's going on. Justin Michael just got by the lap car, James 00 Brown, and now sets his sights on the leader. He's got about a second and a half to make up on Greg Mall, so no serious action up front just yet, Scott, but I imagine by the time we get to the end of this, we'll see it.
All right, we got the bugs worked out. We are back live here. Well, we always were live, but we got the cameramen working hard. Justin Michael off at turn number 2, going to the backstretch with that damage. Rod Mitten and Vernon Margheim, looks like that's heating up quite a bit here in the 7 Skull car.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to point out there. I thought we were going to have an excellent battle there. It looks like Vernon Margon backed off a little bit. Trying to reset this thing, see if he can get another run on that Spotify car, that red and white car there. Does get a run. Didn't get the momentum off the corner. He got a little loose there. So they go into 1 and 2. They run up high there. See if he can get a run off turn 2 here. Looks like he's got the run. He's side by side going into 3 here. See if Rod Minton will just let him go. Yeah, smart racing there. It's not time yet with 18 laps to go.
Great pass there by Vernon.
Yeah, very sportsmanlike with that 92 car as well. Got some drivers out there with some technical difficulties, internet problems. Looks like Heath Smith in that 02 car might have called it a night with mechanical troubles with internet and stuff like that. So tough night for the 02 car.
Yeah. Maybe that new sponsor will throw him some money for a new internet package.
Yeah, that might be a good trade-off there. Good bargain. Back up front, that gap is shrinking, and it's shrinking fast. Justin Michael is starting to run down that 7 car, that Miller Fortune car, dressed up as a Hooters car. And as they go into 1 and 2, now Justin Michael just a half second behind, closed in by he's about 6 car lengths back, 5 car lengths back. He is running that Miller Fortune car down.
That he is. Last time around, Justin Michael with 30.2. Greg Mall, our leader in that Hooters Alan Kulicki car with a 30.6. Justin Michael 3/10 quicker that time around.
Both these drivers know how to win in this series. Both got wins. 7 cars won once at Martinsville, and Justin Michael's got 3 wins on the season so far. So both these drivers are not unfamiliar to victory lane here.
Look at the difference in the line that time around. Justin Michael super high off of turn number 2. Get some momentum built on the backstretch here. Really no holding back here as he looks for the lead. 3 and 4. This turn is really tricky. Looking the inside of turn 4. Side by side down to the stripe. 100 laps going on the board.
Yeah, couldn't get the momentum off there, Scott. And I kind of figured, you know, this was going to be the case when Justin Michael. But boy, that 087 car looks super strong. I don't know if the 7's going to be able to hold him off for another 14 laps.
Go on board, Justin Michaels, he dives to the inside, and you're on board. Greg Mall gets to the outside wall there, I think in the corner, puts a Darlington stripe for the first time tonight on the outside. Bounces off of Justin Michael, gives him the lead. Lap number 101, Justin Michael
That's
up front.
That's what happens there, Scott. This track is so mentally demanding. You get racing somebody that hard and trying to hang on to the position, you know, you make that mistake, get in the wall, and basically cost you the position there.
Man, tough break there. This battle that we're looking for, the lead, Wesley Holland in 3rd place is 7 seconds behind this battle.
Yeah, and he was 10 seconds, so he's made up 3 seconds, and I'm not sure how he's done that. Well, he did pit later, so he's got fresher tires. I think he has about 6 or 7 laps fresher tires than our
That's
leaders.
Correct. Yep, 6 laps.
But I don't know if he's going to have the time. He's still 7.5 seconds behind, so.
Yeah, just put in perspective, our leaders are running about a 31 flat, and Wesley Holland's put down 30.4, so a bit 5 or 6 tenths per lap faster, but time is ticking down here. We're coming up to 10 to go.
Checking back here, that 33 car or 7 Skull Bandit car, whichever way you want to look at it, Vern Margheim up to 4th, so he did get around the 92 as we mentioned earlier. 92 under pressure back there for 5th with looks like the 78 car, who actually is a lap down, so 78 car put some pressure on that 92. I just realized that Mr. James Hearn is lap down.
Yeah, Rodman's kind of all by himself there. Next closest car is 8 seconds behind him. Christopher Howell in that Darrell Waltrip Western Auto 70, number 70 throwback car.
Yeah, I'm looking back here at Jeffrey Merck now, who was our leader, spun the car, hit the inside wall, finds himself 3 laps down in 18th, so tough night for Jeffrey Merck. And it looks like he's he's found the wall again or something, because the whole front clip is missing off that car now.
Yeah, I was just noticing that as well. Maybe he was in one of those cautions that we couldn't find. I don't know. But
Yeah.
tough break for Jeffrey Mark. I know he's going to give us a hard time after the race, but are you surprised, Ken? We're on an oval track, a paved oval. And Jeffrey Mark 3 laps down in 18th.
I was just going to say, the curse is back. The curse of the Black Pearl. No, the Lady in Black. The curse of the Lady in Black.
We don't make it up. We just call him as we see him.
Back up front here, it looks like Justin Michaels pulled out about a 1.7 second lead out there on that 7 car, Greg Mall. He's starting to check out on this field. Here in third, Wesley Holland, now 6.5 seconds behind our leader. He is making up time, but with, let's see, we got 8 laps to go. It's just, I'm afraid it's not probably going to be enough. He's also got lap traffic, and he's going to have to get around the 7 car, Greg Mall, to even have a shot at our leader.
Yeah, even if we call it 5 seconds right now, last time by, Wesley Holland put down a 30.2 compared to the leader's 30.8. So let's call it 0.6 a lap faster. If we multiply that times 8 laps, that's 4.2 seconds. And he's 6.2 seconds behind the lead. So I think he's pretty much out of time, but he's certainly going to give a hard effort here as he gets loose off turn number 4. Not holding anything back here for Wesley Holland, running in 3rd place, trying to run down the leaders.
Or he's listening to us, Scott, and just driving the wheels off that thing. Yeah, Justin Michaels in control of this race right now, so he's dealing with lap traffic, so anything could happen at Darlington. And we do have a couple green-white checkers, so that could throw a monkey wrench into the situation here. But so far, Justin Michael clean and green. 7 car in 2nd place there, now 3 seconds behind Justin Michael. So, as I said, Justin Michael is checking out.
I thought I was pretty safe with my Hooters pick, but man, we're going to give you another victory as well.
Those were too easy, though, Scott. You gotta admit. I was actually going to call out the 7 car, but you beat me to it. So anyway, the best battle on the track right now is happening. The last 2 cars on the lead lap, 6th and 7th place, Christopher Howell and Jeff Gilmore, kind of duking it out for that 6th position. Can't quite, that 57 car of Jeff Gilmore just can't quite get the run on the 70 car, so kind of the best nose to tail battle we got right there. Putting it in the corner hard there. Can't really get the run off, so it looks like that 70 car of Christopher Howell is going to hang on to that position still currently, as we got 4 laps to go. Back up front with Justin Michael coming out of 1 and 2. Coming up on some lap traffic here. Guys have been really respectful.
The lap cars that you were talking about there. Jeff Gilmore is just in front of Justin Michael.
So these 2 guys are battling for position up in front of Justin Michael, and you know, Justin Michael can see that on his radar that those 2 guys are battling for position. And as a leader, you know, that's going through the back of your mind. It's like, I want to tell these guys to get out of my way, but they're racing for position, so it's a tough thing to do.
Got to also think with a 4.5 second lead with Justin Michael, he can afford to give up about a second per lap here with just 3 laps to go. And maybe possibly just hang out behind these guys, right? But I don't know. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it is going to be close. And you also got to hope that the 2 guys that are racing each other don't get into each other while you're just hanging behind them, too. But so far, you know, the 57 and 70 there are just kind of running each other's line at the moment. And Justin Michael, you're right there, Scott. Didn't back off with 2 to go. Figures he's got the lead. Why not back it off? Looking back here for a second, though, Wesley Holland has caught that 7 car. Justin Michael out front, clearly, but Wesley Holland going for 2nd place right now, as we're about to get the white flag.
Yeah, this is probably the best race out there. Last time around, Wesley Holland was about 0.6 faster than Greg Mall, so definitely got the speed in those fresher tires.
White flag is out, so this is
here we go.
And Greg Mall, your pick, pulled off that 41 car, that Busch car. Hang on a second, as Justin Michael's still checking out on us right now. So this
turn
is
number 2, I think Greg Mall got a little bit loose there. Wesley Holland's got the run, but let's see what he decides to do on the corner entry. Takes the outside line, looking for the crossover as Greg Mall drifts high. There's the crossover, looking down low. Side by side, turn number 4. Justin Michael, we know, won this thing, but down to the stripe. Greg Mall, my pick, second place. Wesley Holland solid third place.
Yeah, it was a great battle with those top two as we round out the field here. Werner Margheim in the Skull Bandit car crosses the line for fourth. Rod Mitten in that 92 car coming around the corner here to finish in fifth. Last two cars on the lead lap there, we mentioned earlier, Christopher Howell and Jeff Gilmore coming around the corner. These two guys still nose to tail, crossing for the last two cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, great job by all those guys. We go back out front with Justin Michael victorious here at the track Too Tough to Tame. Let's crank it up here for the fans. Car announced by Justin Michael, win number 4 on the season. No shyness to victory lane here. We'll talk to him in just a little bit. We'll get our top 3, Justin Michael, Greg Mall, Wesley Holland for driver interviews coming up.
Yeah, I'm bringing up their radio chat, Scott, for us. I did get a new mouse, so I don't lose him so much in TeamSpeak now. I'm just Greg Mall, the 7 car. That's who we got. Oh, you got him. Well, Greg Mall didn't get his chance to do the Polish victory lap. Justin Michael takes an impressive win. Can't wait to hear from our race winner tonight.
Yeah, pull him up in just a second here as we. Looks like we have Justin Michael in the green room down here. Justin Michael, our winner, Darlington. The track Too Tough to Tame, which proved to you a little bit of challenge early on the race with that damage on the right side. But the 087, no stranger to victory lane. Win number 4 on the season. Let's talk about the race and how worried were you past the halfway point with that damage when we talked to you earlier in the race?
Well, first of all, I don't know whether I hit Greg there or not, or he bounced off the wall and got me. So I don't like to win like that if it was my fault. So if that was my bad, I apologize. So, but hopefully it wasn't. I don't think it was. I think he bounced off the wall. But anyway, back to the race. Yeah, it was a good race, and we did get that damage earlier, which kind of made me mad. But I knew with the long run that we would have probably the best car, just because of some different lines that we take, and it definitely panned out, and we were able to really get a lot quicker than everybody else. They're probably the last, I don't know, 15 to 20 laps. We were about 3 to 4 tenths faster in the field, so it was a good run, and I was hoping for some long green flag racing.
That it was. It certainly proved that in the long run, you were the car to beat there. We're surprised, even with that damage. I got to admit, I didn't pick you this week, but our fellow broadcaster, Ken Hubert, he was your pick. So you got anything for him, Ken?
Yeah, I think I got 2 wins on the season now on you, Scott. It's the only chance I get a race, so I think I got 2 wins on the season.
We're racing in the booth up here.
Yeah, congrats on that run there, Justin. This is a highly technical track. You showed that you had the expertise to get it done, so congrats on that. What do you got for us next week?
I think next week's Kansas, isn't it? I really like the mile-and-a-half track, so hopefully we excel there like we did today. And I haven't ran there in a while, so I don't know if it's a top-line track like always, or if they fixed it and you can run the bottom now. But hopefully it's multi-groove, and we can have a lot more side-by-side racing.
Yeah, 10-4. You got anybody you want to thank tonight before we let you go?
Just everybody out there watching. Hopefully it was a good race, and my teammates out there for sticking with us there. Kerry was really being a spotter there for us after he got taken out. So, but Scott up there for always painting us a good car, even though tonight it wasn't his. I kind of just grabbed one because it was kind of last minute because I didn't know we were doing bonus points, so I just had to find one super quick. But he always paints us a good car. We definitely appreciate it.
That he does. All right. Well, thank you, Justin. Congrats on that win.
Appreciate it.
Number 4.
Number 4 in the season. Second place would be Greg Mall, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for a Polish victory lap tonight, but looks like we're not going to get it. Runner-up tonight, Greg Mall with a tough pass there. When you saw your teammate pass there, it looks like you got a little loose off the corner. Scraped the wall and watched them go by.
Let me get back to you.
All right.
User disconnected from your channel.
All right.
Well, we lost him there for a second there.
There we go.
We got you back,
And
Greg?
he is back.
I think so. I got you guys now.
All right. Let's talk about your race a little bit, Greg, there. We talked about the pass for the lead. got a little bit loose off the corner there. Was it just pressure that got in your rearview mirror with Justin Michael chasing you down? Looked like he had the long run car to beat. Looks like your car was fading over time. Plenty of Darlington stripes. Looks like an A for effort, I got to say. But how was it watching him pass you for the lead there? And talk about your race from start to finish.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how tonight was ultimately going to pan out because the car just it went through a bunch of different transitions as the run progressed. You know, at first it kind of seemed like it was a little bit tight just because there was practically no tire temperature in that car, and about 5 laps in, all of a sudden it would start to snap loose, especially off exit of 2, and then you know as the run progressed, it just seemed to me like it was getting progressively tighter and tighter, and things were just getting worse as the laps were stacking up. So was surprised that once we got up to the top 3 and then to second that we actually did have some halfway decent speed, especially on an early run, and then was able to leave a few laps there after about the halfway point in the race. And yeah, Justin was definitely having the faster car there over a long run, and I knew about 20 laps to go, you know, it was just going to be a matter of time before he was going to get to me. So can't remember what lap it was when I finally did make a mistake there going into 3, but just tried to get a little bit too much out of the right front there and ended up getting another Darlington stripe there. So overall, not too bad. You know, happy to bring it home in second. Definitely wasn't expecting that tonight. And yeah, Miller Fortune Hooters retro throwback was definitely beat up after the night, but I'll take it.
Yeah, great looking scheme there. I think when Justin made that pass for the lead, from what I saw, it was a Darlington stripe on the right side, which bounced you off the wall and kind of clipped Justin on the left side. It was almost a 2-for-1 there. So got both sides of the car. Want to keep them aerodynamically equal. Coming home with a second place finish here. Awesome run. Looks like you're climbing your way through the standings. 1 win on the season so far. And what do you got next week? Looking into Kansas and then Texas, couple of mile and a halves coming up.
Yeah, a couple of mile and a halves coming up. I'm curious to see, kind of like Justin was mentioning earlier, kind of curious to see how Kansas has progressed in the sim. Haven't been on it in a few months anyways, so I'm not sure if topside's still kind of the place to be on that track. I can imagine it probably would be. So gonna actually be in Kansas this entire weekend for the race, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna get much practice going into Monday next week, but we'll try and get a few laps in anyways when we can and see what we got to offer. So
sounds good. Anybody to thank for another podium finish for you this week, second place?
Yeah, of course, got to thank all the friends and family back home that are watching, and for all the fan votes out there tonight. That's awesome, just to kind of have that little friendly wager there, if you will, and got to thank them for all their support, and of course got to thank all the teammates at Bandits. You know, with Justin getting the win tonight, that's cool, and definitely carrying some momentum going on throughout the season, and that's definitely not a bad thing to have at this point in the game. And of course, got to thank you, Scott, for making an awesome Hooters retro throwback with a Miller Fortune kind of twist to it. And yeah, that's about it.
Sounds good, Greg. Look forward to seeing you next week at Kansas, assuming you can make it after you drive home from the Cup race. And I know the feeling. I'm going to the Coke 600 in a couple weeks, and I don't think I'm going to make it back on Monday night, unfortunately. But so I know the feeling. So enjoy the race out there. Enjoy your climbing through the point standings, and we'll hopefully talk to you. If not next week, we'll talk to you the week after from Texas.
We're going to give every bit we got to make it to the show next week. So appreciate it, guys.
All right, talk to you then.
Yep. See you guys.
There you have it. We're going to, we got one more. What do you think, Ken? Wesley Holland?
Wesley Holland. Let's talk to Wesley Holland. Hey, Wes, up here in the boot with myself and Scott. Hey, I'm going to start calling you the Yo-Yo Man. And you know why I'm going to call you the Yo-Yo Man?
Maybe because I start up front, I go to the back, and I come back to the front, and I go to the back.
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on lately with that strategy?
Oh, I have no idea. It's not planned, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, notice you got off pit sequence there. You actually led some laps there, and back during the time you were leading laps, were you hoping for a caution, or were you hoping it stayed green? What was kind of your strategy after you got off sequence there?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't planned to get off sequence there. I think it was one of those late race restarts. Car just didn't feel right. I mean, I lost it twice, back-to-back laps, and then caution kind of saved us there, so I decided to just go pit and get fresh tires. That's what got us off sequence for those guys, and I was just hoping that maybe we could catch a caution when I had those guys a lap down there, but it never worked out for us. So
Yeah, and you definitely were running down the leaders. Of course, you had maybe 6 laps fresher tires on your car there, so you were making a run. Couldn't quite get past Greg Mall for second. He did a good job of holding you off there, but third is still an impressive move, especially with the adversity you found yourself with tonight. So great job on that third place finish. So as we head to Kansas next week, how do you feel about that track?
I'm just glad to be back on these conventional 1.5 mile cookie cutters, honestly. Didn't think I would say that, but the last couple of weeks been kind of tough. Tracks were kind of complicated, and didn't matter how much practice time I put in, I just couldn't figure it out until race time. So maybe we can figure something out over here at Kansas. So.
Yeah, it looks like the next 2 races are a couple of 1.5 miles. So yeah, if you like 1.5 miles, they're coming your way.
I'm hoping we just get a better run and we're not going to the back, to the front, and having to deal with all that business. So.
Well, congrats on that third place finish. You got anybody you want to thank tonight?
Of course, you guys up in the booth, like always. Awesome broadcast you guys put on. Kim and all the admins in the league for putting this stuff on for us every night of the week so we could race. And all my buddies over there at Bad Apple Racing, appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Wes. Good luck to you next week.
I appreciate it, guys.
Well, there you have it, Scott. That is our third place finisher, Wesley Holland. Darlington didn't fail to impress tonight, or at least I should say I had a really good time watching this race. It was actually fairly clean. We had a couple of incidents out there, 4 cautions for maybe 10, 15 laps, but lots of green flag racing, even a green flag stop tonight.
Yeah, green flag stop, kind of a mix of everything. Couple wrecks, plenty of Darlington stripes. I don't know if we have official count on the Darlington stripes, but awesome paint schemes. Hats off to all these guys that participate. It's just awesome to be involved in a league where we have special races like this and people actually put in the effort and the commitment and come out and race with us. So glad to have everybody here racing week to week. The Multi-League Racing Network, we certainly appreciate it here. Hopefully everybody enjoys the broadcast as we scan through the results here. Top 10, Justin Michael, of course, taking the win. Number 4 on the season. Just scanning through here. We talked to Wes. Rod Mitten, hats off to him in that Casey Kane car. Top 5 for him. Don't always see him in the top 5, but he was up there all night. That's what I like about Rod's run tonight.
Yeah, definitely Rod had a great run tonight. So great run there, Rod. Hopefully you're not in the lawn chair tonight, and it's Darlington. So if you are, that's even more impressive.
Looking at the next 11 through 20, what sticks out to me here, Brian Bazell, of course, in that Jeff Gordon retro paint there from Denton, North Carolina. Awesome run by him. I think he got some trouble early on, but Josh R. Scott, a couple of laps down. We saw some issues there. Jeffrey Merck, of course. It's a paved oval, so no surprise to see him in 18th.
Jeffrey Merck is back to his old ways.
But 21st through 30th, these guys all had a real hard time tonight. Kyle Chadwick, didn't talk much about him. I think he was involved in one of the very, very early incidents, 85 laps down here. JJ Garrett, we talked about in that Caterpillar car. Heath Smith and the new sponsor, Jason Hughes. And going Brad Ream and rounding up the top 32 cars. So, yeah,
so
tough race all night.
So for all the drivers that listen, don't forget to go on Facebook and vote for your favorite schemes. Because like you said, Scott, I believe you're giving away a print.
Yes.
And so that vote is happening on Facebook, I believe. And don't forget to do that.
Certainly don't forget to do that. And otherwise, from Ken Huber, myself, Scott Patton up here in the booth. Appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoyed our throwback weekend here at Darlington. We'll leave you with a couple highlights of tonight's race. And otherwise, we will talk to you next week from Kansas Motor Speedway, the 1.5 mile. Have a safe week, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Don't hold his hand. Teach a man to fish. Was it that man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he fishes for a he eats for a lifetime.